Hello, ComicsGate. This is the Midday Repartee. I am Rata and Glory, joined today by Scotland's best shit superhero and CG's best shit artist, Captain Fuckhead.
What's going on, Rotten Glory? You know that every time you say it on a Wednesday, it's the Midday Repartee. It's also the Midweek Repartee. We should be celebrating. We're halfway there.
That's right. Oh, yeah. I got to start doing It's Wednesday, my dudes, on Wednesday. I got to get a special vid for that. For sure. I don't know. I guess I started, this was kind of during the shutdown when I kicked this series off, and it's the work week it just felt like it lost all meaning. Like, who cares if it's Wednesday? It's fucking Wednesday every day. It doesn't fucking matter.
This is true.
But it's starting to get back, people are starting to get back to their routines a little bit, and the days of the week are actually starting to mean something again, maybe.
Oh, that won't last long. All of this shit that's going on, I keep saying it, is by design. We're moving towards a 4 to 3 day week. Everything's going to change. Be prepared.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right, man. And this has just been one big, now we've got the pre and post. It's another thing on the calendar, right? This will be, it's one of those before and after situations.
Yep. They'll be talking about this in history class, going, pre-COVID, everyone used to have to work 5 days a week. Can you believe it? Oh, my word.
Hello to the chat. We got Dave in here. We got Zaid Comics in the house.
Hello, Phil Pop.
Always good. So I thought, well, it's kind of a two-parter. I wanted to, Zach had put out a video kind of delving into the traditional path into comics. And I kind of want to delve into that a little bit, but I'm also really curious what people think of Graham Nolan in the context of ComicsGate. And, EVS recently had Graham Nolan on and was pushing his book pretty hard. I think the Chinu? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how to say some stuff. You know that.
It might be Chinu. There might be a way to say it that's correct.
Chinu. I think it's Chinu. I think that sounds right. Yeah.
It looks like a pretty cool, I almost got a vibe of, maybe The Thing or, a classic horror.
Mm-hmm. Well,
story.
It comes from, if I remember correctly from that stream, it actually comes from an old Native American tale. I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that could be. Right. I didn't delve too much into it. For one, right now I can't. I'm just not financially able to back stuff. It's really annoying because there's probably at least 10 projects right now that I would love to throw money at. There's so much good stuff happening, and I just can't swing it.
Shipping, bitches. Sort it out.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it, and part of it is because I just have to protect my own life because my woman would kill me if I spent more on ComicsGate right now, and that's fair. I deserve that.
I spent such a on that one alone.
I spent a huge chunk of money, wasn't completely upfront about it. I was just like, I'll take the heat later. I want to do this. I want to back a lot of stuff. I want to be in this thing, and so that hammer dropped, and I'm gonna ease off for a bit.
These things happen.
Yeah. So,
as long as you're not shitting in the street, you're doing all right.
Well, yeah. To date, I've managed to avoid that, but you never know what the future might bring. It's becoming more common to just take a shit wherever you want to.
Certainly not here. You can keep that over there, but we don't do that here yet. We've still got some manners left.
Nice. Gargoyle, what's up?
Hail, guys.
How you doing, Al?
Hail.
So for me, I don't know. for Graham Nolan, it's like, do I feel like he fully believes that SJWs are destroying comics and culture? Yeah, I think he absolutely concurs with that. Do I think that he is absolutely unafraid to be associated with ComicsGate? Yeah, I don't think he's afraid of that at all. Obviously, he wouldn't go on ComicsGate shows if he was afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
But is he going to ComicsGate? And it's what's funny to me is ComicsGate now is it can be a noun or a verb. I think it can be used to describe a thing, or I think it can be used to describe an activity. Like when you ComicsGate, you're contributing to the network. You're creating entertainment for people on various platforms, and I guess this is where I like. My question is Graham Nolan going to ComicsGate? Is he going to contribute to the network of creators, promote other projects, bring entertainment value to the whole thing? And I got to say, I'm kind of skeptical on that front from what I've seen.
I hope he does. But the way that you put it there, I was also hoping that somebody somewhere, because it seems to be quite popular at the moment, would create some sort of interpret the dance for ComicsGate.
Right.
That way we can protest the mainstream industry in an acceptable manner that no one's going to complain about.
Oh, right.
Instead of actually making comics.
What fun would that be?
Sorry, my brain went there as soon as you said it.
I checked
Nolan
out.
Did say hello to ComicsGate.
No, he absolutely. He is. Yeah, he like I said, he's unafraid of ComicsGate. He doesn't mind. Like he's not scared of the label. He's not afraid to engage it, and that's awesome. But and that's like again, this always comes back to it's fans' choice. Like if they want to view a particular creator as ComicsGate or not, whether they declare it or not, it's really always up to the fans. I checked out his YouTube platform, and it's he just got some promos for his comic and 44 subs. So that I'm sure I don't know when he started it. I didn't check that out, but I'm assuming really recently, and doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot of effort put in on that front. So I don't see him contributing as a YouTube platform, at least not for a very long time. And when I went through his Twitter feed, and I didn't see a single promo of ComicsGate books in there. I mean, I went back I think all the way to like October of last year, and I didn't really see anything outside of him promoting maybe being on a ComicsGate show, promoting his book.
Well,
so that
he's in his 60s probably.
Yeah, that's true. So now age can be a barrier to ComicsGating? Is that what you're saying?
No. Age in the generation of the hustling market and media control, and his age of being fast with that hustle, because a lot of them older generations, they didn't really need to hustle with the comic book labor like
That's
a
true.
lot of the new comics gators do. What I mean by older and in his 60s is he's not in that prime where he's in that setting where he's willing to learn new things like a Van Sciver had to, or Malin, or even who else is the successor who was working for Marvel and DC at the time, who's successful in ComicsGate.
I mean, RT Bear for sure. RT Bear is a success, and he's I think his improvement on YouTube has really been exponential. I was listening to one of his streams 1 or 2 days ago, and it was really engaging. It was great back and forth conversation. Yeah, he's doing well.
Oh, really fuck well me! I had a brain fart. Frag-a-boom.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's like, that's, we have this great measuring stick with several people. Frege probably being the most successful recently a pro coming in and really doing it right. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I'm doing good, doing good. Just thought
Good.
I'd pop on. I've been on for a couple of days, so
Nice, nice.
and it's good little topic you got going actually.
Yeah, I guess for me, what I think my favorite thing about Dan Frege coming into ComicsGate is that he did it loud, he did it with a lot of pride and energy, but he also didn't instantly have his campaign thrown in your face. He didn't say, "I'm ComicsGate, buy this book." He said, "I'm
No.
ComicsGate. Now let me sit in here, learn the lore, figure out how this all works, what's going on, get a lay of the land, become a part of it. You know, let's go on a bunch of different shows." He's generous with his time. He'll go on any size channel and contribute. But I don't know. It was months before he actually launched Black Flag.
Best car video too. Let's not forget that. That's important.
Best car video. Yes.
So
it's
in
like,
a way, he kind of. Oh, sorry, mate.
go ahead.
So in a way, he kind of paid his dues to ComicGate, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm
he got
saying.
in there,
I
he
think
was
that's
helping
so
people out,
key.
Or trying to shill.
But
Yes.
Fred was a natural hustler from when he was young to what he did now. He already knew how to work media because he did media himself when he was 15 years old.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question. He has a deep understanding of the hustle, how to promote, how to market, how to bring energy to it, branding. He understands all that, and of course his mind just works. He's so fast. He picks stuff up really quickly. And I think my biggest advice to anyone coming into ComicsGate, whether you have never made a comic in your life and want to, or you're someone who's worked as a professional in the industry before for larger studios, if you're going to come into this thing, don't come through the door saying buy my book, because to me it kind of throws up a red flag to me that you just want to get the quick bucks out of an established fan base, and that you're not really going to be in it for the long haul or contribute to it, over time. So it just kind of makes me like, I think I need to wait and see. If I had money to spend on a project, I wouldn't back Graham Nolan just yet. Just in terms of ComicsGate, like supporting ComicsGate. Like, if you love his book and you want it, fucking buy it. Like, it doesn't. Again, that's up to the fans. But I want my money to go into ComicsGate and grow the thing. And I'm kind of on a wait and see with him right now. So I was just curious what other people thought about it.
I really like the look of his book. I really do. I like it a lot. I've said it before, that front cover, black and white, bit of red. I get proper art bonus for graphics like that. Always have done, always will do. It caught my attention the first time I saw it, and it's still got my attention. I've not backed it yet. I say yet. I still don't know if I will. I'm sitting on a few things at the moment, looking at a few things and seeing what's happening, and I'll make my judgments in a bit. I'm gutted that SK seems to have closed Terra Olympus. I got up this morning and thought finally, and then no.
He full on closed it, or is it in demand?
It seems, I looked on it earlier on today and it was closed. I was like, fuck.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I did not realize that was going to happen.
No, it didn't. I was gutted. So, look, it's. I'm not. I'm going to just come out. I'm not CG only. If there's a book I want, I'm going to go and back it. Like I've told you before, I've backed what's his face, Baby Bowie. He's reappearing now on a Rotten stream. That's going to have to be a running joke. Who can mention David Bowie first on a Rotten Glory stream? But I'm a big fan of his films. If he's going to, and like we've said before on this show, you can do so much more with films than you can with so much more in comics than you can in films, simply because you're not restricted to budgets or you're the only thing you're restricted to is how good your artist is,
Right.
And your imagination, really. So if I see a book that takes my fancy and I can I have the opportunity to go and back it, then I probably will.
Yeah.
If Graham, like you say, you're right with Nolan coming in. If he's coming in to ComicsGate and he's saying, "Look, I've got a book," I get that approach. I get why some people might want to come in and do it that way, especially like you've already said, if he's in his 60s, he might not be able to do the YouTube shit. He might not be able to do the Twitter stuff simply because he just might not be able to get his head around it. I can barely get my head around it at times, so I'm not surprised other people can't. But you know what? If you like the look of his book, go and back it. Don't be shy. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. In no way am I saying, don't back this project, because he's not pure CG. It's not, again, that it's up to each individual. Like, do you only want to buy stuff that you are really confident is from a creator that's going to be in CG for the long haul and contribute to the network of it? That's up to you, man. If you like a book and you just want to get it because you like the damn comic, then get it. I'm just like, I just think as a blueprint, it's a mistake to try and come into CG with a notion of, well, I can just grab some quick money with the excitement of being on, say, an EVS stream. I can grab a quick, maybe, 4, 5, 6 grand, and then bounce out, and I don't really have to be a part of this thing. It's like, you can do that, but you have to understand the next time you want to try to do that, it probably isn't going to go so well.
You listening, Mike?
It's all from a hold to put a mistake of just a campaign on there on Indiegogo without having any kind of platform or personality and expecting people to give you money.
Yeah.
Mike?
I mean,
yeah, exactly. It does worry me. It's like, how is all of this, because he has been on several CG shows. As far as I know, he's made some appearances here and there. The biggest, of course, being Ethan Van Sciver's show. And it's like, you go look at his platforms, his YouTube and his it's like, how is he going to give back what he's getting?
Well, it's what happened with Vinny with Through the Woods the first time. He had it on Indiegogo. He had his portfolio on there. Nobody was interested in the first campaign of Through the Woods because nobody knew who he was.
Yep.
And then when he had his City of Venus project, he went on all the smaller shows, and then he went on War Campaign.
Yep.
And then after that, he blew up. Everybody started buying City of Venus, and then Through the Woods came out, and Vinny had a huger platform in CG, but a lot of people had to get to know who Vinny was.
Yes, exactly.
At a time.
Yeah, it's just. Go ahead, Dave.
It isn't, because there's a lot of different aspects to CG. One part of it is the ability to sell decent books without all the political crap, and basically that's it. Respect your fans, you sell your books. So I suppose if he's doing that, technically he's CG. He might not buy into the whole build a YouTube channel, get a following, contribute to the actual CG thing. But is he technically not doing what CG was built for in the first place?
This is true. Yeah.
Exactly.
He
Yeah, of course.
Expendables project.
You can also say on that. You can also say if you look at someone who if you look at EVS, if you look at Vinny, they've still got quite a. This is going to sound awful, but they've still got quite a fucking sizable amount of time ahead of them to continue to build a career making comics.
Yep.
So if you and if you're of an older age where you're maybe let's just say for argument's sake, maybe he's not in a position where he needs to worry about what's going to happen to him in the future. Maybe he's in a position now where he can say, well, look, I'm set, I'm all good, I'm set up. Maybe he doesn't need to be one of those people who gives back as much as someone like Ethan or Vinny does. Maybe that's not in his mentality now because he's already in a place of somewhat comfort.
Yeah,
so you're saying
I'm sure.
He's working,
maybe
working towards his retirement fund.
Maybe not even that. Maybe he's already got all that sorted out. Maybe he's just wants to. Maybe he's just making books. Maybe that's all it is. It's just he wants.
From
to make
what
a
I
book.
can tell, I was going through his Twitter feed, and he seems to be pretty hardcore into fitness and what have you. The guy's gonna outlive me, I think.
Yeah,
There's
the
no
guy's
doubt.
gonna outlive all of us.
Yeah, so I think he can keep making comics for a good 15, 20 years, no problem. But again, it just comes back to the fans. How hardcore with CG do you want to be? Do you only want to give your money to people that are going to feed back into the thing? Is it just about getting a quality comic book? I have absolute 100% confidence that Graham Nolan will fulfill a quality product. It's not even a consideration to me. Like, I know he's going to do that. So for me, it's just as someone who wants to be a part of ComicsGate and wants to see it grow, I don't particularly want to put a lot of energy and money into someone who's just there to bounce in when they have something to sell and bounce out, and we never hear from them. And how hard is it to do a retweet? He's got a decent following on Twitter, but I didn't even see a Wrecked Planet promo in there for going all the way back before that campaign even started. So it makes me wonder, like, where's the support for the people that are giving you support?
You don't think it's like down to a fear of backlash from the other side? From the
promoting
SJWs and
Expendables go to hell, but then again,
That's right.
tied to Sylvester Stallone.
And then, is this something we should expect from any big name that comes over as well?
That's and we've had this discussion. I think it may have been last week. Pros coming over, and it's like, I think if he had that kind of fear, there's no way he's going on that. I mean, did you watch the live stream he was on with EVS?
Yeah.
It was edgy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I think EVS was pushing it more than usual with his comments, just because he almost to like, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, I'm going to push you all the way to the edge on this one and see how you react. Like, are you going to be able to dance and play with us, or is it going to make you uncomfortable? Like, I think he was testing him a little as well. Like,
and he probably already. I would guarantee they'll have had that conversation before the show as well. He'd been like, you know what? Doing this tonight, and whether you like it or not, this is how it's going to be. Because this is how it is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
so. I can't see him being that afraid of the backlash just by being on that show. It's guaranteed that he is going to be painted into the ComicsGate corner, whether he declares it outright or not. That's going to happen. You know what I mean? So if you're already gonna get painted with the label, just fully commit to it. Start supporting other ComicsGate projects. Tweet some stuff out. Show us that you're there for other creators as well, not just to promote your book.
You don't think
like
potentially
I said, it could just be he's behind the learning curve.
That could be too. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what happens. Let's see how it shakes out. I certainly can accept that maybe he like you said, he's not used to having to do this kind of hustle. That was always done for him, more or less. So this is a new ballgame. But
maybe
again,
he's trying to leave like oh, sorry, man, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, maybe he's trying to leave like a door open, just a way back, just in case it doesn't work out for him in CG for any reason.
That's not, it doesn't work.
User stream and said hi to ComicsGate. It's over for him.
Yeah,
True. He's ComicsGate now.
I think it has to be. I think just in case and just in time. They're both a pair of wankers. Nobody should ever rely on either of them.
Right. Hey George, how you doing?
Greetings, everybody.
Hail the Blue Caesar.
Hail.
Hail, you blue Muppet bastard.
Yeah, I love you all. Kneel before Joe King.
That's right.
What's going on? What's this depressing topic I'm hearing about?
Depressing? No, this is exciting, good conversation, George. What are you talking about?
What is the topic?
The topic is we're just kind of discussing Graham Nolan and is he going to ComicsGate, or is he going to get on board with it?
Oh, Well, of course he's going to get him more with it. If there's money, of course he will.
Yeah, yeah. But is he? Because I was checking, he's got a YouTube channel. It's got 44 subs and nothing much happening.
God, he is definitely going to jump into ComicsGate.
And then and we went through. I went through his Twitter feed, and it's really not promoting other CG stuff to date.
Not yet.
I don't. Not yet, but again, it's like. That there was for him there was a build up to going on Ethan's show. You can't tell me that was like he called him the day before. They were probably talking about it for quite some time before he said, "Okay, you know what? I'm ready. Let's do this thing." And it's jump in the mix, man. If you're going to do it because you're not going to get the full benefit of ComicsGate because there are a percentage of us that really want to make sure our dollars go to ComicsGate, people that will give back to the whole network. So until you show that you're going to give back to the network, you're not going to get the full benefits of being in the thing. So if you've made that decision and you're going to take the backlash for it, just jump in, man. Just dive in the deep end and go for it. That's my opinion.
Well, he was probably coached, just to dip his feet in the water. But
yeah,
and to expect Graham or anybody of his stature, to pivot on a dime, it's a little too much right now. I would think it would be too much because as an artist, he's busy doing work, and he's not accustomed to this culture. I would assume. That's the very open-minded, very forgiving thinking.
Something we're not used to you with George. George. Like, no, you know what I'm saying.
You're not used to me having an open mind.
I was trying to make it in jest, but my mouth was running faster than my brain could.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I understand. Okay, let me give you a little closed-minded thinking.
Yes, that's what we like to hear. Yes.
Maybe he's interested in producing his products. He's focused on his products, and he has no interests, or maybe the opportunity has not presented itself for his interests. As an example, anyone who has been a professional for 30 plus years, 40 years, 50 years, has been inundated with many people saying, hey, give me your signature, draw me something, endorse this product. After a while, it becomes very, very difficult to maintain a happy face. Very difficult.
Yeah.
So like movie stars, like say Will Smith, he will demand, was it $1 million or several $1 million up front to read your script.
How dare he?
I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, he is a commodity. He is a commodity, and his word carries money.
Yeah.
Now, what?
Yeah,
But
and I'm not.
What is the value of Graham Nolan or anybody who of his vintage, his legend, right?
Yeah.
Is there a diminishing value, or is there escalating value? I don't know that.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, this is all this topic is framed in the context of ComicsGate. So I'm looking at people who have never put out professionally comic books before that have more successful campaigns than Graham Nolan. So I guess the question is, ComicsGate is its own animal. It's a unique beast. It's always evolving, always shifting. I'm not coming. There's no judgment for me on Graham Nolan. I'm just asking the question. Is he going to ComicsGate the way we have seen some other people, where he's promoting other projects and trying to lift the thing up in that way, or is he just going to dip in and out when he wants to promote a project? And that's fine. He obviously, his values align in terms of SJWs ruining culture and comics. He agrees with that. He's not afraid of ComicsGate at all. He'll say hello, ComicsGate. I respect all that. There's no judgment here. I'm just I'm curious if he's gonna to throw a little bit more into the arena and give back to the network as well. That's my question.
Okay. I'll ask this of everybody. You're driving a car. You got a valid driver's license, and you're up to date with all your insurance, and the light is red, and it's about to turn green. How fast are you going to get to the other side?
I'd take a bus normally.
Well,
I don't have a car anymore.
You're saying you got to get. So you're saying you have to get up to speed. Is that your point?
Oh my God! Hold on a second. I kicked over something, and my audio is dead.
Ah.
I can't believe
Retitle this stream.
It wasn't. Please tell me it wasn't a jar of piss that was sitting by your computer desk.
Anyways, my answer goes with my answer is the same with Nolan. From going on Ethan's stream and saying hi to ComicsGate, he already burned the bridges with Marvel and DC and Image. He would have to go back and apologize anyways. Is he going to bend the knee to them? I don't think so. I think he's possibly ComicsGate. He just has a learning curve right now. He's not up to speed of what the current modern day 2020 hustle is for comics.
So what you're suggesting is there's no way back for him.
Well, not now.
If he bends the knee and constantly apologizes and draws transvestite Bane,
maybe. Even then, it's like a maybe.
There's a one way he's going to get back, but it's going to be constantly fucked in the ass and taking dick in the mouth.
Well, there you go. That paints a vivid picture.
Well, that's a wonderful
the way
metaphor.
back.
Wonderful metaphor.
Or if as morbid as this sounds, if his wife's on the deathbed and Marvel and DC are offering him fucking money to keep her alive.
You're in a great mood today, Al.
Yeah, bringing the darkness today. The way back mountain, man, shit. So yeah, I think that could be very true. That there's just a learning curve component to this, where he's it might take him a little bit to get up to speed on how things work. But he posts promotions on Twitter for all manner of things. It's not like he doesn't understand how Twitter works. I have seen him post links to Indiegogo campaigns. They just weren't ComicsGate.
I wish someone would tell me.
So, it's not that he doesn't understand that you can use this thing called Twitter to promote an Indiegogo campaign. So the question is he going to leverage his following to promote other creators who have been generous enough to have him on their shows and to promote his work? Will it be reciprocated? And that's, time will tell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'm hearing is, will he be only curated with Ethan's stream or the higher streams?
Even on the smaller streams, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think he has done some smaller shows to promote his book. I'm just curious if it's a reciprocation scenario or not.
So whether or not he'll pay back the help he gets from boosting his book to the small creators in CG.
Yeah, and it's not, that's not a requirement. He doesn't have to. But then, CG fans can also say, well, I'd rather give my money to someone who is doing that, and I think that's fair. That's legitimate too.
It's the point of CG, isn't it? Customers spend
That's
their
the whole
money how they
thing.
want.
That's the whole point.
Customer first, yes. Customer, it's a customer movement first and foremost.
And I absolutely think he respects his customers, and he has respect for ComicsGate. I don't question that. I'm just curious to see, how it goes. And it's, again, this is gonna be a bigger and bigger issue because comic book conventions, physical conventions, seem like they might not be coming back. They're certainly not happening right now. This is gonna cost comic book artists especially a lot of money. So they're going to be looking elsewhere. They're going to start really looking at crowdfunding and maybe getting out from under the umbrella of the big studios. So we're going to see a lot more of pros coming into this. And how many of them can ComicsGate bear if they're not going to contribute back into the network?
12.
12. Let's put a figure on it. What about 13? Could we bear 13?
No, 12.
12. Okay.
Only
I
12.
think it would all depend on how CG grows as a movement. Like, because you've got more creators coming in, but it's the fans you need. It's the people that are buying the comics.
That's a great point.
Bang on. Yeah, absolutely bang on.
So Graham Nolan, does he bring fans to the table? I would assume that he brings some fans to the table if he's letting those fans know that, hey, there's this ComicsGate thing. If you like what I do and what I'm doing, maybe check out this.
Yep,
if he's doing that, it could help grow CG.
I think that's something we could all be doing better, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay, so my question is open to everybody here is, okay, so we got Graham Nolan, or we have somebody else, et cetera, et cetera. The question is, what is their diminishing value? Here's why I'm saying this. Frega, this is openly communicated. Ethan said this. Frega boasted that he had an interview with Mike Magnolia.
Right.
What's his name?
Todd McFarlane.
No, not Todd. Not Todd. The other Mike, the guy who created the Devil guy with a big hand.
That's Mike Mignola.
Mignola, right?
Yeah.
That's what's the character's name? I forgot.
Hellboy.
Hellboy. That's it. He had an interview with artist of Hellboy. He was bragging about it and all that stuff, and I believe, as far as my memory goes, Ethan said, "So what? He's old news."
Yeah, it doesn't. In the context of this, what we're doing here, what ComicsGate is up to, it doesn't mean anything. And I think, I was really curious because Frega had those interviews for a while. As I understand, they're older interviews.
Yep, they are.
And he started releasing them after, several months after he, declared CG. And I thought that was actually quite an ingenious and clever thing that he did. I thought it was kind of cool that he did not release those until after he declared CG, which I was curious what the impact of that might be. But certainly, I don't think there was the interest he expected to be in those. It wasn't there. Because ComicsGaters don't honestly give a shit.
Well,
mostly.
That's because they're passionate about the people that they've been intimate with. They haven't been intimate with Mike. They haven't been intimate with Todd McFarlane. They haven't been intimate with John Byrne, unless you're on John Byrne's forum. And even that is, a stretch to the imagination, because why? You haven't seen him personally, physically, communicate by voice. He's done interviews. Everything's very clinical.
Yes.
He's gone to conventions. What do you do in the convention? Oh, there he is over there, 6 feet away. Maybe he looks in your direction as he's scanning the room.
Right.
Do you honestly want to work with Todd McFarlane after hearing about how much he steals from creators?
Oh my gosh! But what about?
I don't know anything about that. But
what about people? What about people who took from Todd? it's both ways.
What stuff that was taken from Todd?
The medieval spawn and that chick that went for that's
Angela?
And-
That was Neil
yeah.
That was Neil Gaiman's character. Neil
You know
Gaiman
what?
created her.
It takes two people to create the character. One person writes it, the other person draws it. How does that happen? Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. It wasn't Stan Lee. It wasn't Ditko. It was Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. So there's something really fucked up. Excuse my language. Happened with Angela.
Right. I mean, I think when you're playing at that level, at the top tiers of anything, any medium, any business, you're dealing with wolves, you're dealing with sharks, you're dealing with you're in dangerous waters, and either you're gonna be a predator as well, or you're just prey. With tremendous success comes shit from all sides. So I don't know. I'm sure Todd McFarlane made some questionable moves in terms of business and maybe treating people unfairly, but shit.
Yeah, we can only speculate. Understood.
There was and I think this is somewhat relevant. There was a great video your boy Zach put out involving the traditional path into comics, and we're gonna check out a minute or two of that because I do think it's relevant. It's relevant to comics and certainly ComicsGate. I think there's a lot to be said for there being a path, that you have to earn your bones. I think having to earn your bones is essential for anything. Paying your dues, whatever you want to call it. I think it's important, and ComicsGate's no different. It's a red flag when someone just bounces in, instantly wants to get your money, and hasn't paid any kind of dues or shown any kind of doesn't really show that or earned.
It bugs you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It bugs you. But on a technical level, the world that we live in is usually who you know, not what you know.
That's true. And look, this is a man, and this has kind of been stated. Graham Nolan he's paid his dues, probably more than once. Like he's been doing this a long time. I'm just talking comics and comic books. He's earned a place at the comic book table. There's no question about that. So certainly, he deserves respect for what he's accomplished and who he is and what he's done. But again, ComicsGate is its own animal. And if you want to jump in the arena of it, I do think there's something to be said for earning your bones.
Okay, let me throw this out to everybody. Usually when you're talking about something, you say a lot, and then as soon as you use the word "but" or a variation of it, everything that you said before becomes irrelevant. Mm-hmm. So let's go after the "but" and try to get to that point where what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob's the Bill O'Reilly of ComicsGate. He likes to ask questions, but he likes to shove the answer at you and shove his opinion at you, and that's the final answer.
I think this is just meant to be so people can react to it, man.
All right, let's do a Thunderdome.
Let's do it.
If 5 panelists come in, only one walks out. So what are we looking at here?
Oh, this is I wanted to play a little bit of your boy Zach's video here, but I don't want to. If you have something that you were wanting to say,
I know I'm all ears.
Okay, let's give this a look.
Very rare exceptions. There was a standard path, and that was you made samples, and you photocopied, you mailed them in, you went to conventions, you showed them, you waited in very long lines, and then you would kind of get the interest of one editor, and then you would get some work. That's one of the things that's been so aggravating about, you know, the current era, which sells so poorly, is they hire people based on demographic traits. Your X, your Y, your Z. Then they put them on high-profile books with no experience. And then they tell people, buy this or you are discriminating against people who are X, Y, and Z. When there was a standard path for decades, for 80 years. So Chris Wozniak, he says, Chris Wozniak occupies such a specific corner of my comics.
So, and I'm sorry, I have to listen to Zach at 1.5. I can't do it. Otherwise, it can't happen.
Is that why we have somebody laughing?
I think so. Maybe.
That was brilliant.
I can't. I just can't.
Oh,
I forgot. I meant to put it on the faster speed right from the jump, but yeah.
That's made my day, Rock. Thank you very much.
I just got to speed that shit up, or you know, because he'll go off. He could go off on a 5-minute tangent, and it's like, holy shit! This. If I want to get to the meat, get to the meat of a Zach video, I got to speed this shit up, man.
Yeah, but isn't it important, you know, that during his long speech that he fixed his toaster and we found out exactly what was wrong with it?
Of course, it's important, and in some way, I'm sure, in some abstract, weird way, if we really pondered, it probably connects. But I don't have time for that shit.
I just learned the more irritated Zach gets, the more funnier he is.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. There was one a little while back. It doesn't happen as often as he used to. Just be in a constant state of agitation. But you know, he's definitely chilled a bit. But when he gets angry, it's definitely more fun.
Sounds like he sounds like the fat chipmunk from Alvin and the Chipmunks when you speed him up.
So that Star Wars guy, otherwise known as Testify. Wants to get on for some reason. I don't know what.
What? No.
I'm really not. I don't have the energy. I'm not really interested. So no, I'm not gonna let you on today.
Totally disavow him. Unless he is a nice guy.
I don't feel a need to like disavow Testify. I just don't want to deal with him. Is there a difference?
Is
there a difference?
Yeah, there is.
Because it always winds up. It always turns into negativity. It always turns into some kind of bitterness.
I vouch for Testify. Bring him on.
No, that's because he's your interpreter, man.
What? No. I'm going to be interpreting him. He has a throat problem. He can't talk much.
He's got his own show with a bigger audience. He doesn't need to come on here.
Oh, come on.
He doesn't need to be here.
Just okay. Then give him a minute. Give him a minute, and then we can kick him out.
Okay. Testify.
Testify. Are you there? Testify.
George convinced me. He really argued your case, and here you are.
He's brought up a really good point this time.
It's his best ever, to be honest.
It's so profound. My God.
And that's Edwin says blasphemy. The only reason I listen to Zach is for his rambling tangents. So that's a valid point.
So can you hear me now?
That could have led that.
There you go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm a professional YouTuber now. You know, I'm very sorry. I used I was a professional right there. How are you all doing today?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing swimmingly. I love all the
nice.
DMs coming in, all the death threats, everything already after one YouTube show that everybody didn't think I could do.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry, not I. We could do. Me and my three friends.
Okay, Testify.
Yes,
George. Buddy, pal, bosom, buddy. Let's stick to the topic at hand. We're talking about
how to make a boring ass show. And
that's not why. See this. See ya. It's so pointless, man. That's all he wanted to come on here for, was to say, look how many views my first little show got, because I piggybacked on an existing group that's been building for years.
Oh
and wow, you suck. So that was why I wanted to come on. I figured it was. He said his
Alright.
piece, so goodbye.
All right.
I just know there's no. What is the point of it, man?
Yeah, understood. Okay, let's continue with Zach.
So Zach's point was really that there's always been more or less a traditional path to break into comics, and that usually required considerable amount of effort, paying your dues, taking whatever work you could get, impressing maybe that one editor, taking some job you probably really didn't want to do at all, but you had to take the work, you build up a reputation, and you pay your dues. And through that, walking that path and putting in that work, I think it builds a certain kind of character, an appreciation for what you've earned. And I think that no matter what it is, whether it's mainstream comics or ComicsGate, I think there's a lot of value in that. And if someone doesn't have to walk any kind of path or pay any kind of dues, there's a high risk that person isn't going to appreciate or respect what they get from it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you class the paying your dues in ComicsGate as, in terms of, like, for myself, an aspiring
Try
comic book
flattened
writer?
xenotype.
Flatting xenotype is, dude, you paid your dues. At the end of that job, no more dues for you. You've done your part, man.
Sorry, Dave,
Captain Fuckhead is a great example of, to me, someone who's paying his dues in ComicsGate. He's doing work on projects. He's building his own platform. He's bringing entertainment to people. He's networking with other creators, building relationships. His presence is out there.
Wait a minute.
He's generous enough to come on this show and co-host with me 3 times a week. That's paying your dues.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Who's Captain Fuckhead?
Blue Caesar, how dare you, Captain Fuckhead.
I was trying to do my best, Kirk. Wait a minute. This is Royal Fizbin. I'll tell you what it's like, okay?
So yeah, I mean, I think just having a presence and contributing, building relationships with people, whatever your strengths are, contribute those strengths to ComicsGate. For some people, that's making badass trailers for people's campaigns, or it's making an animated cartoon using, audio from live streams. Whatever it is, maybe it's designing logos, maybe it's just being damn entertaining and funny. Everybody has that thing they can bring that to the table and be a part of it, build relationships. And when the time comes, if you have something that you want, a product that you want to push forward, you will have the support because you've earned it, and you'll appreciate that support because you've earned it.
To answer your question, Dave, a little bit more, a little better than that. Not better than that. That sounds terrible. You know what I mean?
It'll be better, I'm sure.
all I was going to say is figure out what you can do and do that. Because if whatever it is you can do, just make sure you do it, because people will appreciate you doing it. Like YouTube takes a fucking long time. Don't be if you want to go down a YouTube route, don't fucking think there's a quick fix there, man. That takes fucking a long time to put together. It takes a lot of practice. Just even if you look at some of Ethan's original streams, fucking hell. But that's what you have to do. You have to put the time in, and if you put the time in, and people can see you getting better, then you're on a winner.
Yeah.
A repetition. Repetition.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency and repetition.
Indeed. Yeah.
And I just want to point out, testify I love you. Sorry.
What are you sorry about, man?
I don't know.
He was the one who did exactly what I figured he would do. You vouched for him. I mean, damn it, George.
He'll probably call me out. He'll probably call me on something. I don't know what it is, but he will. I'm just jumping ahead of the line.
Got to get ahead of the curve, man.
Yeah,
Always
that's
be
it.
ahead.
I think you're just a Muppet.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, look, I think we've run the gamut of this topic more or less. Unless anyone has anything more to contribute to the Graham Nolan conversation or the path into ComicsGate.
Thank you, Odie.
Yes, of course. Captain Fuckhead, anything that you want to shout out for today?
Tonight, Comic Mark's channel, CG UK show. I can't tell you who's on because if I get it wrong and it's someone else, I'll look like a dick. So I'm not going to say who's on, but there is a guest, I believe. I'm not entirely up to date on what's going on because I've been very busy flatting today. And tomorrow night on my channel, I am joined, hopefully, by the entirety of Graded Point 5.
Oh, badass, dude.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I've been trying to make sure when I do get them on, I can get all of them on, and I believe that is happening tomorrow. There may be a couple
great,
of late
dude.
arrivals, but I think they're all coming on the show.
By and large, as a whole, the Graded Point 5 team has the best laughter in all of CG.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have some of the, like just listening to some of them laugh is absolutely infectious. I love those guys.
Yep, I could listen to Opti laugh all day long. I love that noise. That's such a great noise.
Yeah.
He won't come on now, will he?
This is I almost like I know we're in the middle of wrapping up, but this is a really good statement here by Smiling Bandito. Do people feel like they deserve support if they have put in the time? Should they? I don't think. I think it's a mistake anytime for anyone to have an expectation of others. I think the best we can do is just give what we can, do our best to build our own presence and platform and contribute where we can, and appreciate the support and reciprocation that we get back. If you build up some kind of big expectation, like, well, I've been here, I put in the time, I should be on the biggest channels, I should be getting more support. Mm-hmm. I think you're setting yourself up for a very nasty situation mentally, where you're gonna become very bitter. We've seen it happen many times. So
Agreed.
yeah, never build those kind of expectations up, I would say.
Agreed, 100%.
Matter of entitlement.
You got to be
Expectations
grateful.
are very dangerous places.
Yeah.
I seen this guy on the Twitter. I fucking annoyed me for a while. All I seen him tweet is, analytically, I don't get as many likes as I get views. Everybody should like me more. I need to quit. And it's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, man. You just gotta be patient. Build up what you're doing. Build relationships. It will pan out in the end. It really will. Obviously, it goes without saying, you have to have a quality product to offer at the end of the day. That's a given. But you also have to be patient and don't try to build up expectations of other people in that way. Just keep working it.
Expect
Gargoyle.
nothing from others, only from yourself.
Yo.
Very good. Very good.
Oh,
Gargoyle, what you got? You want to shout out something?
The great projects on the Indiegogo. Got Lost Pages currently. We had him on a couple times in the show. He's got some stretch goals. They got a new character story, The Pianist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That gives me a heart on. Chubby. That's another character that I'm going to have an easy time drawing. So thank you for that.
Chubby.
And Phil Diaz of the Lost Pages is going to be a special guest on the Atomic Deuce this Friday.
Excellent.
Oh shit! Hail,
Very excited
brother.
about that.
Hail.
He's been on this channel one or two times. I've gotten to speak with him before, but I'm really looking forward to just goofing off with him during the Deuce. That should be fun.
He's good people.
Yeah.
And if you want a more serious Phil Pops, Rot's going to hate me now. If you want a more serious version of Phil Pops, go and check it out on my channel. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. Fascinating bloke.
Yeah. Dude, you're the best. You're the king of it. You're the king. Undisputed. Dave, anything you would like to shout out?
No, just generally there. Thanks for having me on again. There might be a YouTube channel coming soon for me. Maybe we'll have to see. And just to everyone, go check out the CG UK side of things. At the moment, it's growing every day. Cap will tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, come meet us. We're pretty nice, most of us.
CG UK is doing it right. I really like the positivity, the fun. Guys always have the great sense of humor about everything. So
It's because everything's greatly funny. That's why.
it is.
Nah,
It's because we're British. We have the best sense of humor.
Right. George, what you got for us?
For me, it's georgepetergadgets.com. Go there. Everything's there. Check it out. My high recommendations. Vestige is a great comics book campaign. Vestige 2. You'll get Vestige 1 with it. It's a terrific book. It looks like a terrific book. All the reviews I heard about it, it's a terrific book. Cash
Vestige,
Grab.
I've read Vestige 1 and I can attest. I really enjoyed it. It's a good book.
Fantastic. Excellent. Cash Grab by Cecil, another terrific book. I personally backed it. I broke my rules about waiting for volumes to come out before I back them because, well, Cecil is love and life.
That's right. Yeah, Cecil was one I usually, because I have limited funds, I typically can't back on too high a tier, but Cecil's, right out of the gate, it was like, I think it was a $75.
Yeah, it's his Weasley voice, That's what attracted me.
And who does the fucking colors on that shit? Who the fuck is that colorist?
Oh God, that fucking guy.
Was it Joe Ball?
Oh yeah, it's Ink Spots.
Oh wait, I thought that was a band.
Yeah, Ink Spots is coloring that. It's looking really good. I think he actually posted some new pages or at least some panels.
Yeah,
recently.
There was an update, and Six Gun Gorilla, terrific. Captain Love, again, a terrific book.
Of course, the first 3 pages.
The Zay brothers, their Lost Pages, again, a terrific book. The list is huge. These are just off the top of my head. What's that book done by Carla and her husband?
Oh, The Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper.
Yes, Grim Reaper 2, right? Is that in demand
Grim
or is
Reaper
it
2? Yeah, it's still in demand, I think.
Okay.
Another terrific book, and I mentioned Vestige, right? Yes. And my book will be book 2 will be hitting the Indiegogo campaign in September.
Very nice.
Boy, what else?
That was a lot, dude. That was a lot, dude. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Six Gun Gorilla. It was one I wanted to give a shout out. Just absolutely love what Brian Kriskow has done with this book, this series. It's so good, man. I've read the graphic novel. I just read The Big Gun Down. The guy is just producing one of the best CG books out there. Can't say enough about it. His campaign definitely, just keep feeding into that thing. He deserves it.
It's great stuff. And I just listed, I think it was five books, products, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It is, man. There's so many great projects going right now.
That's
fucking
tip
phenomenal.
Of the iceberg. And that's what blows me away. Tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. What's everybody else working on here? We also have Sim. What's Sim working on? I forgot the project.
He is, and I have this in the description below, but the link to Tales from the Natverse, you can sign up for that. Right now, the campaign will be launching relatively soon. Probably, I don't know, maybe in the next month and a half. So he's fulfilling Blood Hunt real soon. So.
Yeah, he showed off hard copy the other day.
Yeah, you got a proof copy. It's looking good, man.
Did he flip through the pages, or was that just the skin of the cover?
He flipped through. He showed some stuff.
Proof of life.
Oh,
man.
I see.
Proof of life.
All right, guys. Hail to the chat. Thanks for being here. Always appreciated. And we will absolutely see you tomorrow.